So, let's see. Shawn, Ryan, Skyler, and Tyler do a podcast called The Shoot Show. Yeah, I bet you guys were in a lot of shoots. So, yeah. It must be a really good show. A really, really good show. Must have at least, 8 fans? 8, what do virgins like to advertise? What's a virgin advertising demographic? Oh, do you guys, kiss each other's hands? As Don Rickles would say, you hockey pucks. Nah, it's just a bunch of dumb names, too. A bunch of idiots. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
I'm buff, I'm the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough. And I'm always in a shoot. Tyler and Skyler, you fucking suck. But Ryan and Shawn are great.
And that's a shoot.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Shoot Show. It's been a fun Christmas time here for the boys. This is episode 130. I am Double T, where I'm bringing you some fun Survivor Series action in 1997. I got the boys along with me. I got Skylar Blank. What's going on, brother?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. that's good enough.
You didn't answer the question.
brain fart. What was the question? I didn't even hear a question.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Just here to talk some screw job.
Good. Do you like tater tots?
You know, they're all right.
Okay. Good.
That's a personal question.
Feels like as good a time.
That's too personal for me.
Feels like as good a time as any to get that out of the way. The other voice you hear, of course, is our good, close, personal friend, Ryan Clare. We call him the Dank Possum. Ryan, how do you feel about tater tots, fella?
I'm passionate. I'm passionate in many different ways. You got your Oritas that can stand up against the
You know the different brands of fucking...
Orita's a gimme. They're like the brand for packaged
what is Sonic?
Potato
what does
treats.
Sonic have for you?
They're Sonic.
They're Sonic
But I recently branched into the sweet potato tater tots.
Ew.
And boys, let me tell you, it's good to be on top. You don't even need the confectioner sugar like you're at the fair. They're sweet enough as is. It's fun. Air fryer, 10 minutes. You're at the carnival.
I like this.
Good time.
I like your style, cowboy.
Oh,
Thank you.
So this is the culmination of the largest journey that we've taken together on this long road here. It was a winding Snowpiercer-esque train.
Yes, the Snowpiercer is the perfect analogy for that because it's so stinky in this time machine.
We've worked our way
disgusting.
through many a smelly train car. Pellets. Yeah. This is, I believe, a sixth episode of our journey, sixth and final, and we are at Survivor Series 1997. We're in Montreal, and you know what that means.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's. I mean, this is the longest time we've focused on any one given topic.
For sure.
By far.
And it amounts to about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
They cut it. We'll get to it later.
I mean, this is the moment though in our wrestling generation. It's what changed everything. I mean, if we look just a step back and look objectively at the wrestling landscape in 1997, we have WWF starting to lose. They were losing footing. Like they're talking about I mean, this whole thing that started off, I don't mean to completely simplify everything, but, Bret Hart might not be getting paid by the company he's at, and that makes everybody doubt everything. And that's just how tumultuous the whole landscape was right now. And from that night in Montreal, everything changed because the entire course of WWF changed. The entire course of one of their biggest stars obviously changed, and our lives changed, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the birth of Mr. McMahon.
We got a sweet Hitman HBK video package to start off the night, though. Like, that went over.
It really was. It really was very smooth, very nice. It was almost like you wouldn't have to watch 5 weeks worth of Raw to get it.
Mm-mm. They're really good about making everything look so much more epic than when you were actually watching it.
If
a super kick as like a symbol's bashing off, he's super kicking Bret in the face. It just...
If there's one thing that WWF has consistently been good at, it's putting together promo packages that get to the core of why you want to watch it. They're really good at that, man. Like, it doesn't matter whether you want to... Like, they will make you want to watch that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you like their product or not. It is an objective fact of the universe that they are good at production.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're honing it through these years. They're already damn good at it. If you look now, you can see them just planning ahead for their vignettes. Half the time when people standing somewhere, look at the background. There's probably a B cam on that person with the WrestleMania sign or some shit right behind their head. You know, that's most of the reason why they do anything is so they can put some reality show SFX behind it. When they're looking at, somebody across the ring. It's genius planning, and yeah, we see the seeds of all that starting here. And you're right, you could just start the show right here, going in cold, and you would have a good footing for watching the whole thing. But yeah, huge pyro starting off right after that package as well. There's no Vince McMahon screaming at us, by the way.
Never
He's
again.
too antsy this night. I just imagine him pacing around in Gorilla.
Yeah, where am I?
He's just yelling into a bag. They just have like a burlap bag.
Yeah, they packaged up two family-sized salamis in khakis and gave them to squeeze in the back since they couldn't be out there.
That's nice.
To squeeze the legs of
nice.
JR.
He keeps piercing them. Give me another.
Commentary. So, damn it, I need some thighs. Bring me fucking thighs.
Well, and in addition to anything that might happen at the end of the night, we all know that the very close second reason that we took this long run was to support electronic karate fighters.
I made a note that said, let Ryan talk about it one last time.
Now it's electronic karate fighters. I noticed they added that in.
In this post-holiday season, I don't even feel the passion anymore for holiday fighters. I've grown out of them. I'm on the Furbies now. 1998's what's in. Fuck the karate fighters.
Don't talk about Furbies.
I'm kidding. I just lost track of the karate fighters tournament. Did we even ever get any close?
We only ever saw the very initial tournament, unless maybe they shown it on like one of the B shows.
Sure, you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, Saturday night poop shoot, whatever the hell they had.
It's been Sunday night heat type shit.
So yeah, we just got JR and King, and that's they're laying the groundwork for what we're gonna see going forward for quite a while.
Yeah, man, King's looking good, but JR just sporting some fun little accessories. What was that? There was like just the 90s, the Saved by the Bell intro title card kind of colors going on his vests and tie.
He's
like,
stepping out.
Go you, Jay.
Yeah, he's stepping out.
Keep it going.
Don't say he doesn't have style.
I got pizzazz.
They kick off fairly quickly with the first of what's going to be several Survivor Series matches that we get to see throughout the night. They front load a few of them to kind of clear the way for the action going forward. We start off with the Headbangers and the New Blackjacks versus the Godwins and Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
Yeah. This was I keep forgetting this is before Acolytes. This is before APA. Bradshaw's just a little whippersnapper.
Just a guy with a bushy mustache.
He's a huge 6'4", 280-pound whippersnapper.
Blackjack. Are they calling him Blackjack Hawk?
Because his name was like something Hawk before that.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was him and Wyndham, and they were but they call him like Blackjack Wyndham and I think Blackjack Hawk.
I don't know because I just instantly call him Bradshaw and I just ignore anything they say. Like
Blackjack Bradshaw is too wordy. Yeah. But they've built to this. We've watched the build for this. The only thing to really focus on here is the proto New Age Outlaws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Road Dogg is perfecting his craft. We've watched him really quickly evolve on the mic into, slinging. He's talking about queers and steers and queers.
Man, he is one of the best to ever pick up the microphone. He sounds like he's pre-recorded every time. He can hit the same notes each and every time and say things the same way, like just a second take.
You think he did it a shit ton, like whoever rode with him and had to share a hotel with him just had to hear it all the time because he was just practicing it in the mirror all night. Just like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
No, it wasn't so much that as it was just "Be My Baby Tonight" over and over and over, like from the bathroom over the shower.
That's how he gets his voice ready to do it.
You can stick that song up your butt. This match is garbage.
What?
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
wasn't
why
fun.
I enjoyed this match.
And Barry Windham is like one of the main problems with this match. Like he has no
Oh,
business
stop.
being in the ring at this point.
Hey, that's the real connection to the Blackjacks.
Hey, cool. He can be their manager.
Your immediate dismissal.
You're so
It's
rude
1997,
to names.
man. Like Barry Windham was one of the old school horsemen. Like cool, good for him. Like I'm with that. He just like he's no business in this match.
Well,
When
they
you
call him
got like
Blackjack Bradshaw. Wow.
the next generation. Did they really call him Blackjack Bradshaw?
Yeah, on this
Cool.
on Wiki
Yeah.
at least. This
God,
is
Blackjack Hawk
Bradshaw.
sounds so much cooler.
Right.
Blackjack
I
Hawk.
know
Oh,
what
although
the
it does
song
kind of sound
was.
like cock.
We did see a proto clothesline
Justin
from
Hawk.
Baby Bradshaw. It was actually called a lariat, but I thought that was hilarious that they would go on to be very distinct. That's the clothesline from hell.
Yeah, well, Bradshaw will go on to correct Michael Cole from the commentator position years like, gosh, Maggle, that's a clothesline. That's hilarious.
Maggle.
Yeah, damn it,
M-O-G-G-L, yeah, Maggle.
You're talking about two different spectrums of the kind of thigh squeezers in the company. You got your Vince McMahons and you got your JBLs. Vince is doing it out of love and fun. JBL's just trying to hurt you.
Just trying to hurt you.
Just trying, yeah. It ends up being the Thrasher versus the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
Road Dogg is...
The Godwins had to go back to Bitters, Arkansas.
If you want to get into the story of the match, the Outlaws didn't want to get in the ring with the Blackjacks the entire time because of what they did to their hats. So, whole match they avoided getting in.
Guess what they
Made
did to
the
their hats?
made the
their heads
Godwins
through.
do all the work.
They're still sore about what they did to their hats.
They're still wearing them
real
tonight. Remember, one of you said you wish they'd keep wearing them, and they
Yes.
did come out of Survivor Series.
Real
Like
shit.
the little French jester neckerchiefs.
That's some real shit to do to a cowboy or somebody who taking off somebody's hat. Like you'll get your ass shot.
I've seen people threaten people just for threatening to tip their hat.
Oh man, there's a lot of country songs written about that type.
It
of shit.
seems like Road Dogg's going for his pump handle slam and can't quite get it a couple times.
I couldn't tell if that was a legitimate reversal or if he bobbled it, and I don't know who that was. Was it was it one of the headbangers
Yeah, Thrasher.
that happened to? Okay,
He was the only one
I
left.
couldn't tell if he just was like, well, I'm taking this then. Okay,
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, it looked like he was struggling to get it, but I couldn't tell if that was part of the story or just... weird.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was just going for an abdominal stretch. Because sometimes he does that too. There was no humping, so we didn't know.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's how.
Later
that is
on
how
in his
you know.
career, he'll be able to signal to all that all is okay when he humps you before the pump handle.
This match ended in a weird way, though. It ends with Billy Gunn missing a leg drop.
Totally
off the top rope
missed.
and still getting the pin.
He totally missed, and Thrasher sells it anyway, even though it's on the hard cam when he landed, and you can see totally misses. Like there's no two ways about it.
From that side
Yeah,
angle,
from the second angle they showed it from, it looked great for sure.
It looked like he tipped him right in the top of the head.
From the second angle, it looked really good. From the first angle,
just don't pay attention to that
it did not.
hard cam that went live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Billy Gunn gets the pin. You're right, off the strength of missing that.
Well, yeah, him hitting the mat so hard made Thrasher's head hit the mat really hard.
Wow.
Sure, he is, in fact.
Wow.
He is, after all, the ass man.
That is the end of the story of that match. So there's your psychology.
That was a long match for things that didn't interest me too damn much. And I think that it was they had to get it out of the way. I think you put it the best way possible, Tyler. They get this shit out of the way.
Well, I didn't hate it.
From here, it leads right into kind of the same type of shit.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same damn thing? Oh, it's a three-way.
It's even worse. No, this is even worse. Because after this week, the next match is the Truth Commission versus the Disciples of Apocalypse.
Oh, God.
So
you've
got
seeing Disciples of Apocalypse.
You've got Crush, Chain, Skull, and 8-Ball. All the boys.
Which they could not distinguish between Chains and 8-Ball all match. Was it those
well,
two?
They're twins. So, I mean, I do understand the trouble there. The Truth Commission is Jackal, Recon, Butt Plug, and Kurgan.
Wait. That's not real, but
tell me which one you got wrong.
I don't fucking know.
I had to check my notes
I'll give you
I'm
4
not sure.
names. Recon, Plumbus,
Oh damn it! I don't know about that
Scrimpton.
Nobody
Nobody is anybody in this match. Who gives a fuck?
Nobody is anybody.
Yeah.
I think I saw fucking Don
Callis, yeah. Jackal is Don Callis, who will be somebody eventually.
The Truth Commission looks vaguely Street Fighter-ish. Who am I thinking of?
Guile.
Okay.
But they're definitely. It is a South African militant group type of gimmick, which is so far out in left field. It's into the parking lot. It's out of the stadium and into the Wendy's down the street. What a terrible.
I feel like it was a very vivid image in one guy's head, and he's like, no, trust me, trust me.
Don Callis,
really
probably. I like the DOA came down on their motorcycles, but there was so little amount of space between the ring and the barricades, they were struggling to squeeze their motorcycles around,
Yeah.
They're being very careful because they paid a lot for the chrome.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Don't want to scratch.
Easy.
Lest we forget, they were ragging on Eric Bischoff and his love of motorcycles.
Yeah. Well.
So the only person that they're really interested in this match is the Interrogator, who will go on to be Kurgan in the Oddities not too long after this. But he's not shit. He's terrible. He's super stiff. He looks like a zombie. He just shambles around the ring.
Big man style. When it's just I am powerful, let me stomp towards you. That can only go so far with me. I think Braun Strowman put the tombstone on that for me. Tombstone, that could have been a fun play.
He was so good for a little while, though.
There's a point where it gets down to it's DOA people, and then there's Interrogator and one more person who's in the ring, and that guy's going to get pinned, and Interrogator just kind of steps halfway through the ropes and just watches him get pinned and doesn't do anything. Just kind of oh, you're getting pinned? All right, well, I'm going to start getting in the ring to wrestle.
It's I'll just handle this myself.
Yeah, he does fuck all to help his homie and just kind of waits for him to lose. But then goes in and wins. So I guess maybe the whole story of this match was Kurgan's a big dude.
Kurgan? I don't know that name.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Interrogator.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're in 1997 right now.
We are, in fact, in 1997. We're in early November of 1997. This match was terrible.
Yeah.
Worst match of the night.
We got a nice little fan who will win the main event segment.
God, I love this.
Any notable people?
I always love when they go to crowd shots outside, earlier in the evening when they're asking people, and they're just hey, what do you think's gonna happen? They're je m'appelle Pierre. J'ai de Bret Hart, le Hitman.
Oh yeah, that's a detail I meant to bring up at the beginning of the show. You're gonna have to get used to this ring announcer speaking French. That's just a fact of the life tonight. It's just and then yay, we're all excited. Yeah, going to the crowd so throws me off because I always expect them to be rednecks. I don't care where the show is. I expect them
in
to
New York,
be
the middle of New York City in Madison Square Garden. They'll still be
that's
Stone Cold.
Diamond Cutter.
I appreciated the strong unibrow game on the Indian dude that they had at the jump. He's Bret Hart is the best. Oh, Bret Hart. The best there is. Baguettes.
There was a few brave souls that were rooting for HBK though.
Definitely, to a sea of boos and
Oh man, they're like that guy. I went to school with this kid that cheered for La Resistance in middle school, and I was so every week he was always cheering on.
Did he do Rene Dupree's little dance?
Oh, that's the worst. It's I feel like French Canadian is the worst kind of Canadian. I feel like that should be a swear word. French Canadians. That's the worst.
It's that they have the potential to be the worst, I feel like. They're not always the worst, but when they want to turn it on, it's kind of like people from Louisiana. When they want to turn it on, they can be the worst.
I believe that.
From there, though, we go backstage. Stone Cold is with Kevin Kelly in the AOL chat room.
Oh, what a visual this is.
Man.
Stone Cold Steve F. Austin there sitting in the back of the locker room in 1997 talking to some dweeb, some dork there on the computer.
I don't know what I'm saying about me on the internet.
On a fucking, like, HP Pavilion 100.
He has a man typing things for him, though, like... Imagine trying to type what Stone Cold's saying to you, and he expects you to get every word right.
Yeah.
Rambling.
Yeah, he says you're a dumb son of a bitch, and he said he's going to reach...
No, I didn't say son of a bitch. I said some bitch. That's SUMBICH.
He said he's going to reach through the screen and grab you by the gizzard? Question mark?
Yeah, damn it, I
Question mark? Like... So here is some Milton Bradley karate fighter. It's been a huge part of the success of Survivor Series 1997.
Without them, no Survivor Series.
Yep, a huge part. I just wanted to say that.
If you're listening, karate fighter.
So then we get a Team America versus Team Canada promo. This was what was making me laugh, that Steve Blackman went from a crazed fan to valued member of Team America in the span of like 5 days.
Imagine being a guy in the locker room and like this was a real thing.
Yeah, imagine like that to fans. Like, hey fans, go ahead and get in. If you whoop ass hard enough to impress Vader, he can lobby for you to be in a match.
Yeah.
I just don't like how he's out in front in the little tease image. He's just out in front with his hands kind of raised, like in a prowler stance. He's just kind of like, I will sneak. That is my job.
Feel like I was going up in a rocket ship? No, do with my hands. Why don't you just put them at your side, Steve? And like they sold this shit like that Vader had to go bail him out of jail and shit like that. So it's like just kind of funny how.
Are you going to call Steve Blackman a liar?
Short. I guess not. I mean. This is the most.
Hit you in the back with a Kindle.
This is the most disjointed motley crew, and probably as well of a representation of America then as it is right now. Team 2020 is summed up by Steve Blackman, previous crazed fan, Mark Marrow, who is the valet for Sable. If you don't know, I don't know if you recognize that name, Mark Marrow.
They're like, oh, Sable, I know that name.
Goldust.
Sable with Mark Marrow.
Goldust, who is at his absolute top fuckery. We'll get to that. But then, like, Vader. Like, the only realistic member of this team right now is Vader.
It's just such a Saturday morning cartoon version of events that happens. Like, just pick our most ridiculous characters and
well, Steve Blackman is replacing the injured Del Wilkes, who will never return to wrestling past this point. But yeah, at least Del Wilkes would have had like a mask on that, like some America colors. That would have been a good,
So we would have got that dope ass theme song one more time.
Yeah, we did
hear it. So
we did though.
That was Team America's theme.
Oh yeah, they did use it. Fuck you, Del.
Team Canada, which JR calls out later on, is Davey Boy Smith, who was born in the UK, Jim Neidhart, who was born in California,
definitely,
Doug Furness, who was born in Commerce, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is shit.
And then Phil LaFon, who is actually the only one who was born in Canada. He was born in Ontario.
That doesn't even count. Ontario's basically not even Canada. You have to get into some moose territory before you get in some. Well, Ontario's huge. What am I saying? I went to Ontario once.
Damn.
Not impressed.
I think it's funny when they're talking to Steve Blackman, and he's so new at this. Like, he doesn't know. When they finally get to him, like, everybody who's cut promos in front of him is just staring down the camera and yelling. Like, but he keeps, like, turning back to Cole, and then turning to the camera, and then turning back to Cole, and it's like, bruh.
It's like... They didn't even tell me. Wait, I have to be interviewed before?
Yeah, imagine this poor guy, like, he just showed up, he's like, look, dude, I'm a crazy person. I jumped the fence trying to kill one of these guys, and like now they're telling me I work here. Like, I think maybe I should have been in jail still, but like, you know, Vader
like the cut of your jib, kid.
Vader showed up and bailed me out. Like he said, bail me out. He just like pulled the door off the hinges.
I think he killed 2 police officers.
He just smashes through the wall like it's a paper door in Japan.
Oh yeah,
it's like the Juggernaut. Goldust has "FU" written on his face.
Yeah.
That means
I don't know what that was.
Well,
about.
that means Forever Unchained. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I don't want to say it.
But yeah, as we were saying, Kurt's theme does play for Team America to come out. But in my opinion, the ultimate disgrace to an American is being introduced in French.
Yeah, I feel like they should have beat up the ring announcer for that.
I take serious issue with that. If I am ever introduced in French, like, believe me, by the time I get down, it's like, and he's walking down, and he's picking up speed, he's going past the ring, and he's horse-collared the announcer, and he's wrapping the cord around his
He's demanding he re-announce him in English, and he will come back down the ramp.
Really, I think you may have been on to something.
This is the most offended
French
I've ever
Canadian
heard you.
aspect. There's it's like the most pompous flavor of French.
Whatever. Yeah, when they go to Saudi Arabia and they are S&D when they are there. Believe that. Do they introduce people in Farsi or whatever language they speak there? No, they do not. They introduce them in English. I'm just saying. They have those guys. They're sitting like 6 tables down in their Pizza Hut tablecloth headpiece, whatever. Like,
for the people at home, so they just.
But am I wrong? Like, like I've never heard a wrestling show, even the international ones. They're still in English.
I don't know if the tartan pattern is some kind of cultural icon or anything, but it definitely does ring some Pizza Hut vibes for me. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard Tyler be this offended before in my life. This was the breaking point.
It's just like I've stripped down to my boxers and I'm just ripping art off the wall. Michael Cole says Doug Furniff. And Doug Furniss, like, the whole reason he's from Oklahoma, but he's just fed up with Americans. He doesn't want anything to do with Americans anymore. He says USA is all about drugs, crimes, and slime.
That sounds pretty cool.
Slime? Is that like a Nickelodeon thing? What the fuck?
He's like, I'm tired of seeing Rugrats.
Is that like some real hip slime? Like, man, all these jive turkeys and they slime. Coming
I said I lobbied for a WWF episode of Figure It Out.
Yeah.
Mr. McMahon said no. I am furious. I want slime.
I'm so tired of these kids in America saying I don't know and getting covered in slime.
What would I do?
Yeah.
What would you do?
So he's going to Canada. So that's like he's defected. But yeah, this is the point right before the match when JR calls out Team Canada for not being from Canada.
Well,
Sable gets the biggest pop. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's one thing. They say Mark Marrow and the Bulldog start us off, and this is the 6th Survivor Series appearance for the Bulldog. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Seen a lot of shit.
Sable chant breaks out. Sable is who the crowd is. I think maybe like 3rd. They like the Bulldog a lot. The Bulldog's getting some good pops. Phil LaFon, despite not really looking like he knows what he's doing there, I think they just desperately needed like a French, like a guy from Canada. They're just like, "Where's Phil at?" And he's just like carrying something off the truck. He's like,
"Oh." He's definitely smoking a cigarette, like, offending a lady.
Rowing a boat in a black and white striped shirt. Lid jerk. I like that. So it's like Bulldog, and then Vader gets in, and then Bulldog goes and tags in Phil LaFon, who's about half the size of Vader. Like he comes and tags maybe like no. Like, they finally we see Phil LaFon gets tagged in, but then Steve Blackman gets in this is the first time we've ever seen him do anything. So they take great care in explaining that he has no wrestling background, and he has only martial arts training. So that's what we can expect from him. But the first two things that he does, he runs out and does a standing drop kick, which I don't think is a karate move, and then he bounces off the ropes and does a running elbow drop. Which again, I do not believe in.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite mixed martial arts movie.
Yeah, imagine what karate style is it where you run and just like pencil your body. It's like a drop kick is so unproductive. Like I'm also gonna land on the ground.
Chuck Norris won his second or third karate tournament with a La Magistro pin. It was beautiful.
I bet that was the last time that ever worked.
He did. That's completely full shit. He did not. That's not even a thing.
I just really like that they go out of their way to kind of stress that he doesn't have any wrestling training, and he does like two absurdly wrestling moves to start off with.
And now a suplex is made famous by.
And then he loses by count out because he's too stupid to know the rules.
Yeah,
that's like part of it.
Did he go to that? Like he doesn't know anything about wrestling, so why was he at Raw?
Yeah,
he just go there to support Team. He just loves America so much. Anytime he sees Team America on a build, he goes.
My headcanon for this was that he, like, before we saw him on the Monday, he was just some guy who was like an accountant who just had like a nervous breakdown, and all of a sudden started thinking that the wrestlers were talking directly to him, and so this is all made up. He just like wanders away. Yeah, he loses interest and wanders away fighting and gets counted out.
Yeah.
And Vader gets the anvil out. Mm-hmm. And then there's a funny exchange between JR and King where King says, Oklahoma and Colorado never got along, did they? And JR just fires back, well, not on the gridiron, that's for sure. I like gridiron. I like that. That's a fun word. And I'm like, well, sure as hell didn't on the gridiron, buddy.
Yeah, on the old football.
Not when they were throwing the pigskin around.
It is like, he's like, well, you're damn right when it came to the gridiron. Good old JR. I love JR. I'd like to just sit and listen to him talk. Like, I wish he was my grandpa or something.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah. I don't care that he, makes faux pas. I still do the whatever he did, like the Oriental Asian.
Freddie Mercury never looked so Oriental.
Asian. Female. Worked his way down. I still do that. That's great. He's like, nope, not that one. That's like Family Feud. Like they get buzzed and like, what does the next family member think? Nope, not that one either.
He was doing the equivalent of zooming out on an iPad. He was just like going whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Oh man, that's great.
Where the hell are we in this damn match?
Vader gets LaFon out.
Let's get past it.
Vader gets LaFon out. Mark Marrow gets in against Furnace. Furnace does a punch like death. Mark Marrow gets up to the top rope and he hops around backwards and does a moonsault.
Yeah.
But like Doug Furnace just like starts to get up and just gets blasted by it, man. Like, he was not supposed to get up. I don't know why because, like, you can see the anguish on Doug's face when he gets rolled over.
He wasn't ready.
But throughout all of this, Goldust has been avoiding a tag. And that becomes more and more evident as it gets down to just being... because Doug Furnace sneaks a pin on Marrow, so it's just Goldust and Vader. And Goldust is literally, like, hopping down off of the apron to not get tagged. Like, he's not interested in getting tagged. He's a fucking piece of shit.
He's a fucking piece of shit.
So finally, Vader slaps him and just kind of chunks him into the ring. But he just rolls out and leaves.
Yeah, and JR says he's quitting on his country the same way he's quitting on his wife.
Oh, my God.
Shit, JR.
So,
Daggers.
Vader hits a Vader bomb and pins Furnace. But then the Bulldog hits Vader with the ring bell to get the win, which is such a lame-ass way to end what honestly was not a bad match. Like, it didn't take too long. They had a lot of action popping off, but then it ended in such a cheap fashion. Like,
but was it a good match?
I think it was. It wasn't a bad match. I don't think.
I didn't hate it either.
But now that that's out of the way,
now
let's
talk
get
a nice
karate.
shot of the karate fighter.
Yeah.
Blimp floating around.
And
man, no update on that karate fighter tournament.
So, well, we're here to talk about the next segment is the karate fighters and the Super Sweepstakes winner.
Yes, the Super
Sweepstakes winner, man. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
So they get the winner on the line, and it's Jacqueline Cook from Columbia, South Carolina. And,
oh my God, yes.
And boy, she's just a little giggle mug.
She can't believe it. She's watching right now. Everything's happening right in front of her eyes.
And so yeah, she wins, and she wins a dinner with her favorite WWE superstar, and no surprises. She picks
Jerry the King Lawler.
She picks Stone Cold.
Oh, what?
No surprises.
Jerry the King
there,
Lawler
yeah.
was shocked.
Lawler was So where are we going?
He answered the phone. He's like, "Yes, where are we going to eat?" He's just a good old goof. Just good old Jerry the King Lawler. He's always good for a chuckle.
Yeah, that was fun. I like to see. At least we got to see like the culmination of it.
Yeah.
I like that there was wonder I wonder who she's gonna pick. She's like, oh man, fucking Kane. Like if she'd have picked Kane, I wonder what they would have done.
And I want him to wear the mask the entire time.
Yeah, I think they were pretty much banking on her to pick Stone Cold. I think that's kind of like on The Simpsons when Bart had the option between money and an elephant, and he chose the elephant. You know, like
What if they did pick like Mankind, and then Mankind has to be like just upsetting the whole time?
He's like, I want
throwing his
First time I was in a restaurant, I was eating the gum out from under the table.
Like, that's probably a real story.
God. Oh Jesus.
Or yeah, she picked Sable or something like that. Like that was really funny.
But you can't bring Mark.
No, I don't want Mark at all.
And you can't.
Speaking of Kane, though, we get a nice Kane package, and then we get to see
Kane package.
Mankind backstage. Yeah, it was just not that big. Mankind does not want this to be remembered as a wrestling match, which I think is interesting foreshadowing for some of the matches that he's going to have, in the years to come. How do you face a brick wall? I mean, that's what he says.
Head first.
Yeah, and I mean that would kind of set the tone for the match to come. And keep in mind that Kane had only been in the company for about a month or so.
Yeah.
Like we had just we're coming fresh off of Bad Blood. We know all about 1997.
Oh yeah,
Kane.
1997.
And we're feeling the vibration still. And ever since debuting at Bad Blood, I keep trying to mispronounce that, he has just been wrecking people every opportunity they give him.
That's right. Well,
he just comes out when he's not even supposed to be there.
That's right. He popped up very briefly at the end of Dad Gloves, and then we've seen him every week since then.
Dad Gloves.
I keep saying Dad Gloves or some shit.
So yeah, this match is Kane versus Mankind. This is his first actual match that we've seen him have, because everything else has just been like, I guess, walk-ins.
Kicking ass and taking names.
Oh, yeah, poor Flash Funk. Rest in power.
Oh, he did.
I didn't realize, and I guess I just didn't remember that they would run this red light in his match, like Fiend style. Like, just the red light throughout.
I hate it so much.
Not a fan. It's like playing the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, I hated it with the Fiend, and I hate it with the Kane. It's just distracting.
It's a pretty interesting timeline for Glenn Jacobs. Like, he's worked through some god awful gimmicks. You know, the Isaac Yankem and that was
a great
the
gimmick.
fake Diesel.
Come on, he was so cool as fake Diesel.
But like, I wonder if he at this point, like, what he thought about the future of this gimmick. Like, realistically, like if he thought like this is going to be another one that just kind of comes and goes. Or if he could, like,
so hot for
imagine.
it immediately, like
definitely when people are making signs and they don't even know how to spell your name, like you got something.
I think that it was being attached to Undertaker that pretty much was the golden,
it has
rocket boost.
It hasn't been for others though. Like some people, I mean, Nathan Jones, like years later, had a similar like attachment to the Undertaker, But
he wasn't his brother.
What was the Nathan Jones? I don't even remember what
he was going to be in a tag match with the Undertaker, and they just pulled him out and had Undertaker go like have a handicap match instead.
Oh, that was Peanut Head SmackDown era, wasn't it?
Hey,
that was all
you mean
kinds
one of the greatest eras of SmackDown?
It's interesting to after having kind of a couple of gimmicks that didn't really go anywhere and really weren't going to go anywhere. Like, to think that this would be the one that it's like in 97 that it's like, dude, in 2020, like, you're still going to be, like, carrying that. Like, this is the one that sticks.
This one was just so like, they planted it for a while with Paul Bearer just being like, your brother's coming! And then he showed up months later.
I'm outside the Sizzler!
That's a great point to make because he had been through stinkers in the past. He is hitting the biggest shit of his career, and damn, there's no way he could have known that silly mask would take him to more Royal Rumble appearances.
Come on, that mask was so badass looking.
Good on him.
As soon as he opened the box with it, he was like, "Oh shit."
This mask is the best Kane mask. It's the square jaw, the square chin, no lower face bullshit. I like this.
Good on him for like working and putting in his work and paying his dues to get to this one. I liked the outfit where he had one arm out of the outfit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was jacked as hell too.
Mankind catches Paul with the mandible claw, but Paul slips away. Kane kind of force choke pushes Mankind onto the Spanish announce table.
Oh yeah, man! And this was before the big bump. Yeah. This was kind of like the baby bump that set the stage.
Both Tito Santana and Carlos Cabrera looked legit injured from the impact, and we see them standing for most of the rest of the show.
Poor guys.
Kane gets a hold of him again and tosses him from the turnbuckle just flat to the floor. That gets an ECW chant from the crowd. Which is smarky as fuck in 1997.
Animals.
Yeah, that bump in particular, just straight to the outside of just watching his body land like a big piece of ham or something.
Yeah.
Why do you have to do that every match?
Well, there are a lot of old school wrestlers that would not bump flat, let alone bump it flat to the outside like that.
No question. And that's a tough bump.
Obviously, he got his money's worth out of every bump Mick Foley did, but holy shit, look at what he's done to him, man. You can't last long.
Nope. And that leads to him taking a tombstone and yikes. Kane gets the win.
This is a long 9 minutes, boy. This was a beautiful Mick Foley squash, which is the highest level of squash, I would say.
Definitely,
but still squash nonetheless.
And arguably, I would say one of the first of its kind, if not the first of its kind. I mean, man,
at that level, with that level of name, for somebody to come out and just take a name that is on signs that are held up at a pay-per-view and do them like that, I would agree. Yep. I think you're right.
That was crazy. That was a crazy little match.
Crazy little match.
What's next?
Vince and Sergeant Slaughter backstage.
Oh yeah, Cole backstage with Slaughter and Vince talking security.
Yeah.
Michael Cole it's so funny to see him at this point because he's just so like the sniveling Jimmy Olsen getting your coffee.
Whatever you say, boss.
Little bitch. You remember when DX was just abusing him, like China bent down behind him, and Triple H shoved him hard enough that it wouldn't have mattered if somebody was bent down behind him or not.
Yeah,
he didn't even hit China. He just flew through the air.
Shoved so hard, your body just does a flip in the air.
It's like and Michael Cole is the perfect physical specimen for the job that he was doing, being that backstage guy, that little shrimpy dude standing next to these behemoths.
Yeah,
just made people look
Imagine
cool.
how hard you could shove like a 6-year-old. Especially if they were standing on something and you could really get a good upwards push. I'm sorry. No. Anyway, the next match is the Nation of Domination versus the Nation of Domination. Oh wait, what are the teams here?
It's Nation of Domination versus LOD and Shamrock.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I brain farted as I was reading it because I'm like, Nod versus Lod.
Nod versus Law.
Ahmed Johnson glistening as ever. My goodness.
Yes.
He has a brace that goes down his entire leg.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a Stone Cold brace that goes from your belt to your ankle.
Yeah, my whole leg fucked up.
It's literally like my entire leg fucked up, man. Just what part of your leg? The leg part.
The whole damn thing.
The leg.
That shit just broke.
The leg part, basically.
That shit just fucked up.
Upper leg, lower leg, middle leg.
Pelvis.
Yeah, I mean, this is, and I've talked every opportunity I've gotten and how beloved Ahmed Johnson is backstage, but teaming up with freaking Legion of Doom and Ken Shamrock will get a person over. I don't care what you're doing.
Definitely. This is a hard hitting group. I mean, all things considered.
Boy, just Farouk and Kama Mustafa. Like, those two guys you don't want to step on the shoes.
Ahmed gets a pin on Farouk, which almost makes Farouk go Super Saiyan. I saw little rocks start lifting off the ground like it's a dangerous game.
Stepdad level 3. He's like the baggy undershorts.
So Farouk then he just gets outside of the ring, and rather than leaving, he holds Ahmed's legs from the outside while the Rock pins him in clear view of the ref outside. Like, I don't understand what's the point of having multiple refs if they're like police departments that aren't conferring with each other. Like the ref outside is like, well,
not my job.
Yeah, I saw this.
No, I handle things outside the ropes, apron down. That's all I touch. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm the outside.
If your feet were outside and you did that, I'd be pissed.
If you're on the turnbuckle, I can't help you.
I ain't talking to no inside ref.
Now, who the fuck is this guy?
Billy Gunn and Road Dogg come out and steal the LOD shoulder pads, and then Powder Spot Animal till he gets a count out loss. Which is lame.
Yeah.
The story of the match, though, here is Shamrock. And Shamrock goes on it. Like, we get a good short match here between Shamrock and Rocky. And Shamrock snaps, as he's known to do.
Well, he's been getting fucked with a lot lately.
Yeah, he eats that leg. He just gobbles it up. Yep. And Shamrock gets the win for his team. This match was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this match from start to finish. Everybody in this match is good.
Yeah, we're getting to see some young guys that are going to be something someday. Well, one guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Ken Shamrock, you're right.
Yeah.
He really took off from there.
Nobody else in that match had a career like Ken Shamrock.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
Impact champion.
Shamrock and Rock ended up looking good. They were the last one standing, and I mean, who's not going to tap out to that ankle lock?
Definitely.
It's not like Rock doesn't look bad for doing
and especially when it's locked in with that level of ferocity. Like, Ken kind of elevates his insanity, and like, I always like that. Like, you could always tell when it's
those
like
neck veins.
And it's like, okay, now he's gone like level 2, and like
like Chuck Liddell, like Giants Super Saiyan kind of. Yeah, he did that same type of shit. Same veins in his neck.
After that,
scary as hell.
We hear the DX theme for the very first time.
Yes.
And it's hyping the DX In Your House that's coming up in December this year.
Did you get a timestamp?
I did not.
Hour, 55 minutes, 5 seconds.
Very
First
nice.
time
Thomas, go check that out. And the original version of that song, it gave me goosebumps to hear it.
Are you ready?
Break it down. After that, we got fucking Stone Cold versus Owen Hart, man. We've been waiting on this one.
Been waiting on that. Hell yeah.
I mean, this is one that's been built as consistently as our main event. This is every week we see Stone Cold come out and just being a real stinker. Just being a little stinker in everybody's affairs, just trying to get to Owen Hart, making sure he keeps that belt.
Yep, he's been making his presence very known, and he's been making enemies along the way.
Yeah, man, he don't care who it is, they're going to get struck.
And he does not care. Does not care. All of Team Canada is there. Did I hear correctly? 3 months ago is when his neck was broken? I don't feel like it could be that short.
It wasn't. It was like 3 to 4 months. It was less than 6 months, I want to say, and yeah, it was just. It was like under 4 months at this point, and he was coming back. That's why he was so. He didn't really take a whole lot of hard bumps in this match. It was not long.
Yeah, it really was shorter than because they hyped it up for so long.
4 months. So it was summer. It was SummerSlam of '97.
I was wondering. I couldn't remember what pay-per-view was. But
4 months.
I mean, they were both still running hot off of that happening, and I mean, Owen has it on his Titantron for crying out loud. He's wearing the shirt. I just broke your neck, and so this is still very fresh, like more fresh than most grudges that I'm still holding today against real life people.
For sure,
this is just three or 4 months.
Sorry, I did that to you.
And that to me is
fuck you, Scar.
That to me was like the story of this match was like, can Owen get him into the pile driver?
Yeah, and that's what they were selling before. They were putting that over before the whole match started. JR or King 1 was talking about it is going to be a fight to get out of that pile driver because Owen Hart's going to be looking for it, and that was the story from the get-go.
Yep.
But
it's
yeah, like I said, not long.
Owen was also trying to leave or get DQ'd, which was also funny. He was trying to get the ref to DQ him and shit.
Choking him with a cord or a cable out. Like, well, disqualify
me. Yeah, look at this.
Then.
Look at what I'm doing here.
I'm sorry, but just DQ me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry about this either. I won't write him a note.
He should have DQ'd him if he said that.
Yeah, it's just so rude.
So fairly short match, leading up to Stone Cold hitting the stunner and getting the win.
Yeah,
enjoyable.
It seemed like a bobbledy finish that just kind of jumped straight into that stunner, and it caught me off guard just because it was such a short match.
Very short
match.
But
I did not think about the fact that his neck is still kind of broke. So it was amazing that he was even doing that.
Definitely. I'm looking up right now. It was 4 minutes and 3 seconds.
That's how long the fucking match is. They hyped it for so many weeks. Match. I'd be pissed.
So, to kind of maybe try to get that extended a little bit, Phil LaFon and Doug Furnace both hit the ring, and they both get a pair of stunners for their troubles as well.
Well, if the match can't go on longer, I guess a couple more stunners is cool.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the power of Stone Cold Steve Austin in Montreal, where Team Canada just won, did they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just won, and now here comes members of that team coming out in Canada to get stunned by the Texas Rattlesnake, and they're cheering for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
100%.
That is an achievement.
It's funny that they're like, send the Canada guys out, make them boo at their own people.
Yeah, make them smell it.
Well, that leads us to the main event, boys. The star of the show here after
the reason we're here.
These last 6 episodes.
Before that started though, we got a WWF Attitude commercial advertising just them having attitude now.
That's right.
Grr.
That is,
we look at the camera and we furrow our brows.
Better not be showing that attitude.
It's attitude, boys.
Yeah,
but
it's true.
But yeah, this lead up to what would become the most historic moment in wrestling history, the current history, maybe getting a little hyperbolic. But we've seen this build, and we didn't know. The full story, obviously, until years later, that there's all of this backstage drama. Shawn Michaels in 1997 is not a team player.
No.
He does not. To him, there is an INT.
Yeah.
And he's had to leave off for an injury, and then that fills a vacuum, a power vacuum in the standings, and it just becomes. I believe it was WrestleMania 12 where he had to drop. I could be getting my.
I don't think
it was after.
Oh no, that's where he
later.
beat. This is okay. That's where he took. Okay, I'm getting my history.
I don't think that the character that Shawn Michaels is playing is all that removed from what he's probably like to deal with.
Basically, what Bret's problem is, Shawn Michaels was a jerk, and he basically said something to the effects of you might put me over, but I would never put you over, something like that. And it just spread off because of the respect of the business.
Well, yeah, it all happened in a way organically. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, WWF was not in the financial position they were when they started talking about this historic, lucrative 20-year contract they were signing Bret the Hitman Hart to. And in this time of Monday Night Wars, you
get some casualties.
It was actually... Well, yeah, there's gonna be changes made as income changes, but also at the same time, Vince is trying to take WWF public, and when you do a thing like that, you having these long-term investments freaks people out, and you're trying to minimize that kind of thing. And apparently, there were very frank discussions about finances at the time, where Vince said, maybe talk to WCW and see what you can get. And that those conversations happened, and apparently Bret's, it was a very business-like decision, an amicable decision that Bret was going to, do what was best for him, take some WCW money. Mm-hmm. This was all the plan.
Yep.
But the only problem was that, Bret has something very valuable in the form of the championship.
He takes wrestling.
And Vince could not get it out of his mind. The possibility.
Yeah, and after Alundra Blaze did what she did in her exit to WCW and taking the women's title,
she's part of this.
Yeah, totally. This is what's in Vince's head and fueling these worries, is that he's starting to doubt an old school, honorable, I would say, wrestler, Bret Hart, and he's starting to think that maybe he would do this kind of thing to him. So in comes Shawn Michaels, and that's the top guy. He's the guy that it's got to be. And like you said, Skyler, there were some words said where Bret tried to make it professional, say we've had our disagreements, namely focused around, I believe it was Sunny.
Yeah, the Sunny
there
days.
were allegations
Sunny
that
days.
one or both of them were having some extracurriculars with Sunny Days. Don't
Bret
blame
Hart
him.
would never
It's
do that.
1997. Sunny's a delight. But anyway, there's been bad blood, but Bret wanted to clear the air. I will be professional. I'm going to keep you safe. I'm going to do what's best for the company. You don't have anything to worry about. Shawn Michaels responds with, appreciate you saying that. I wouldn't do the same for you. And now you have pissed off Bret Hart, and he holds the belt. Now what?
And there's no reason to say that other than just to be an asshole.
Yep.
Just to be an
Just
asshole.
Sounds like he
Put it in
was
his head.
just that in 1997.
It really does. It really does. And it's not surprising that he later turned to God when no one else wanted to talk to him.
Hey, I did remember seeing Shawn Michaels and the John Hagee Church. My dad used to watch John Hagee on TBN. It was terrifying. He talked about the rapture a lot. But, yeah, Shawn Michaels did find Jesus. Good for him, I guess. But with this, so from here, we have a limited time before Bret Hart's contract runs out. He goes to WCW, and he's still got the belt. We're finishing up at Survivor Series. It's decided, and the only thing that's not decided is how the belt is going to be transferred. And wouldn't you know, Survivor Series 1997 is in Montreal, and Bret Hart losing to Shawn Michaels in Montreal just is not likely.
Yeah, that's another thing, though. Like, supposedly,
not after what was said.
Supposedly, Bret was like, I just do not want to lose in Montreal. I would gladly drop the belt Monday.
The next night, yeah. He was
willing
to drop
this
the belt
was-
next night.
This was the plan, apparently. They wanted to go to a no contest. We'd have the Hart Foundation hit the ring. We'd have DX hit the ring. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
We got your
But also,
finish. And then, yeah, drop it on Raw.
What was her name? That shit where the lady dropped the belt.
Alundra Blaze, yeah. He was talking Ryan.
Did you say that already? Sorry, I was going to say that.
No, but you're totally right. Like, that's a big, like, and we were saying, like, that's part of this. Like, she put that in Vince's mind, the possibility that, like, what if Bret Hart takes that belt and shows up on Nitro and drops it in the trash on Nitro. That's not the women's title. That's the main belt
that is the
have.
title.
Well, it comes down to trust at this point. I
don't think Bret would have ever done anything like that.
I don't think he would
Hart,
have either, but I think
Bret Hart
HBK was
never
probably
would've
in Vince's ear about it, too.
Bret Hart never would have done it, and in my opinion, from never having met him or shit.
He respects the business too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Well, if you did take the time, if you watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode, that did a great job of wrapping up this entire crazy story in under 45 minutes.
Less time than
like we never could.
Oh man, yeah, never. It was really interesting, and not just for the fact that both Jim Cornette and Vince Russo wanted to take credit for booking the Montreal Screwjob, but that's beside the point. It was interesting how many things really had to happen for this to happen. It was the disagreements backstage. It was what Shawn Michaels said.
Politics.
It was in Canada. It was the money. And it was just the entire history that Vince McMahon had and his own insecurity at this time. Right now, we've got, like I said, we're in the era of the Sting's Army episode of Nitro. Nitro is WCW is winning. They are doing literally better than they ever have in the company's history.
And WWF has the new Blackjacks.
Oh man, and well, you gotta make some homegrown talent somehow.
No.
But and yeah, people are leaving by the day, going to WCW, and Eric Bischoff is happy to take them.
You were a WCW boy.
I was too.
Absolutely.
It's your fault.
I never
Bret
went
got
to
screwed.
WCW because I was always there. I didn't care for Bret Hart. I only knew WCW Bret Hart, and he was not fun.
He was not. It was Bret Hart never had a good time again after this.
No, and justifiably so.
Yeah, this was Bret Hart's passion of the business disappearing because of what happens here.
And yeah, it's debated as to who all was in on the plan, and we're jumping kind of into the meat of it because it was a fine match, but it was not the classic
12 minutes
before the happenings that
well, they fought around
really
the ring for a while before the match started.
That's true. It took a while for the match.
They beat the shit out of each other outside the ring.
Yeah, and it was a very real danger for Shawn Michaels to do any kind of crowd work like that.
For sure.
Like after, I think he was cleaning his nose with the Canadian flag that night.
He didn't even make it halfway down the ring, and he was drenched in beer.
Yeah, they didn't care for him.
Did not faze him though.
Probably Molson.
But it was mostly a brawl for the first. I mean, I would say almost as long as the actual match went on. They were brawling before the match began. They finally get into the ring. The bell is rang, and it's not a whole lot of happenings until the big story happens.
That's right. There's really not a whole lot remarkable that happens until the very end.
So yeah, it's debated still to this day as to what was supposed to happen, but apparently the master plan was that Shawn would lock on the sharpshooter, but while he did so, referee Earl Hebner would still be knocked out from the ref bump that happened right beforehand. I believe Bret Hart's coming off the top rope, and Shawn Michaels, it was to pull Earl Hebner in the way, as he did. But Earl Hebner gets to his feet almost immediately.
Whoa, that's not ref protocol. You stay down 5 minutes minimum.
If you get so much as nudged into the turnbuckle, you have sustained traumatic head.
Traumatic, yeah.
You can't even count the rest of the night.
Instant multiple concussions.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, Earl Hebner's getting to his feet, and in defense of Earl Hebner, he was made aware of this audible maybe 10 minutes before the opening bell. So he was in a tight spot.
I just love how, Bret, sensed it coming, so he talked to Earl, being like, you're not going to screw me, right? And he's like, no, never. And then, you're going to screw him, and you're going to fucking do it. He's just like,
how
damn
am I
it.
going to sell my t-shirts after this?
Shit.
He's like, no, I would never do that there, boy.
Yeah, I wanted to do an Earl Hebner, but I thought it might sound too heavy.
Oh my God!
But if you want a timestamp, at 2 hours 41 minutes and 49 seconds is when the screw job starts.
Yeah, apparently Earl Hebner was told by, I believe it was Gerald Briscoe, that the new finish was that Shawn Michaels was going to put the sharpshooter on and call for the bell when he does, and Earl Hebner didn't know if it was really going to happen or not. So the entire match, he's thinking in his head, "Oh God, please don't put Bret in the sharpshooter. Please don't put Bret in the sharpshooter." And then after the spot, he knew that it was going to happen after that ref bump. And he's up, he sees it going on, and I can only imagine, like, what do you do in that moment?
Yeah.
What do? You have right then to decide what do you do.
Yeah.
And I can't fault Earl Hebner for going along with the plan, because as soon as that scheduled spot was supposed to happen, Bret Hart was going to reverse it, and the moment would be gone, and there you are holding the dead chicken.
Well, and part of it is, like, are you going to Bret Hart's your friend, and that's cool, but are you going to, like, is he going to pay your bills?
I believe that's what Gerald Briscoe said to him. Bret Hart doesn't sign your paychecks. Do your job.
He's certainly not wrong.
Yeah, Bret Hart never held it against him either. He totally understood, because he's a reasonable man.
I think in time he learned to kind of not hold it against him.
That's true. We're talking about 20 years later.
While we're on the subject of Earl Hebner, Jim Cornette was backstage at the time, and he didn't know that they were going to go on. He says that he pitched the idea after a Buddy Rogers, I think Valentino, I'm butchering the other guy's name, a Buddy Rogers match. They did the same thing. A guy didn't want to drop the belt. They just didn't tell him, and they made the finish. He said he pitched that, didn't know if they were going to go for it. He saw it happening on the monitors. And he saw it happening on the monitors, and he was like, there's a good chance, a good portion of this arena is going to want to kick my ass, so let me get out of here.
Get in your car.
And he got in his car, and he says he had just started the ignition, and headlights turn on behind him. He says, well, that's got to be Earl.
It's awesome. Like, of course. Hot on his heels.
I highly recommend that episode.
Hot on his heels is Earl Hebner.
Do you imagine, like, Jim just shoving someone as he's walking out? Like, get out of my way! He just pushes
like George Costanza pushing the old lady out of the fiery
shoving
kitchen.
Kids, yeah. Anybody and everybody.
For sure. So, like I said, Shawn Michaels gets Bret Hart in the sharpshooter. The idea was that he was going to sell it for a little bit, or Hebner was not there to make a submission call anyway, and then Bret Hart would reverse out of it, and soon to come would be the no contest finish. Instead, Earl Hebner was exactly in place, throwing his hands limply like some kind of weird mouth-shaped Muppet.
What do I do?
I don't know. He was so nervous.
Oh, man.
Oh, poor Earl. And he calls for the bell. Ring the bell. You can.
Well, Vince was also standing there yelling, "Ring the damn bell!" So
I want to say you can hear him say, "Ring the fucking bell," Vince McMahon, and apparently he was elbowing the ringing what is it? The bell ringer, or the ring bell man. I don't know what his official title is.
Bell ring man, sir.
He made it happen. They rang the bell, and Shawn Michaels gets the Oscar for what?
Yeah. The look on Bret's face, you can genuinely see, like, Bret, because Bret he's not even done. He's, like, transitioning out of the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Like, as he stands up, he's going for, like, his next move in the thing. Like, he clearly doesn't know that the match is over.
Yeah, Bret Hart says that he knew that something was up when he looked up when Shawn was putting on the sharpshooter, and Vince McMahon and Sergeant Slaughter were standing there ringside. Vince McMahon had come ringside and not went to the announcer's table, which was unlike him at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh my God," he kind of knew what was happening. That's why he didn't look completely shocked. He looked pissed when it happened, but he didn't look
he's
shocked.
Angrier than
Shawn
he's pissed.
Michaels went full like, what? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
No way.
HBK looks like when basketball players, like, shove somebody, and the ref blows the whistle at them, and they turn around, and they're just like, oh? What?
Yeah, it was so funny. Oh, my God. It was, Shawn Michaels never been an actor, as we saw in, what was that? Farce.
Shut up, I don't want to remember it.
Avengers of Justice.
Episode, go check that one out.
Yeah, Bret got screwed, and they I don't know, they cut away faster than I.
Well, he's up to his feet very quickly, and I mean you can see he's jaw jacking, but then he spits. I mean directly into Vince's face,
just right to his eye.
Directly in the face. And Vince, it takes multiple hands to wipe the spit at it. The amount of spit.
I recommend going back and just starting and stopping, watching that 30 seconds from the bell being rang to everybody's reaction from that. Just watch everybody's body. Watch Earl Hebner duck out immediately.
Gone.
He hits the second rope and he's out of the ring before the
Smart
reverberations of the bell cease. He is out of the ring. Watch Shawn Michaels put on a lifetime performance. Watch Bret Hart in that stony realization of what just happened. And, really, I mean, even Vince McMahon at the end trying to communicate to Shawn Michaels, get the belt and get the fuck out of here. He's trying to look like he's not. I mean, they're all trying to communicate without advertising it. And it's incredible, except for Bret Hart. He's wearing it on his sleeve right then. And what they did cut out there in the ring was Bret Hart doing the WCW.
Yeah, he does WCW with his finger in the air.
He stands up and has the presence of mind to do the C backwards so that it looked right on the camera. I will always respect that.
He's a showman.
What a showman.
Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, boys.
I believe he also told the audience that he loved them. I love you.
Well, it was Canada.
That's true. It doesn't count.
And I think went backstage and punched Vince in the face.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, not before doing some damage to company property. He beat up on some monitors, broke a few cameras. That's a lot. He threw headsets out into the crowd. Somebody's got a headset.
Wow,
Somebody's got JR's
what
headset.
A souvenir.
For real.
Oh my God.
A rage-induced Bret Hart throwing headset.
Then yeah, from there he goes backstage.
That probably Canadian fans probably sent it back.
Yeah. They were baseball fans. They were throwing it back.
This doesn't. Sure. I can't possibly accept this. This is too valuable.
No money.
This is stolen property, eh?
Sorry, I caught this.
From there, he goes backstage, and all of the stories from that night say that he was furious, but the footage, which kind of adds into the JFK-like conspiracy, he was having a documentary filmed on him at the time. What a goose egg or golden egg for the documentary filmmakers for that night.
Yeah, no doubt.
But they had cameras on him. He went and goes and showers. Vince McMahon tries to come and talk to him. He says, "Get the fuck out of my locker room. If you're still here when I come back, I'm going to punch you in the face."
Guess who was still there when he came back?
Yep.
He was still there when he came back. He came out butt naked, got slowly dressed, took his time, stood up, and punched Vince McMahon in the head so hard he came off of his feet, hit his head on the floor, and got a concussion.
That's so great that he made Vince just stand there for so long as he slowly tied his shoes. I bet he had those long boots where he had to hook them. Had to hook every lace.
He totally had those boots.
I like he came out of the shower naked and put on everything but underwear.
Aren't you going to put on your underwear, pal?
Put his shirt on, put his boots, put his socks, put his boots on, but just still dick dangling.
His dong.
Just got a pine cone for you, buddy.
It's the ultimate alpha move. Stu taught him that years ago.
Seriously.
But not only Bret was upset about this, the boys, the entire locker room
was. No doubt.
Undertaker was
how
pissed.
do you not feel something there? Most notably, Undertaker himself was going to take Vince McMahon to task, goes to Vince McMahon's office where he and I believe JR and... Oh, goodness. Briscoe
Patterson.
And Sergeant Slaughter. I can't remember. They were all locked in there for safekeeping. And Undertaker beats on the door wanting answers. And depending on what source you read, he's the one that said, you got to go talk to him. You got to take your lunch.
You got to get punched in the face, motherfucker.
Rick Rude, who was a part of kind of on a day-by-day basis with WWF at the time, he called Eric Bischoff that night and said, "Do you have a spot?"
Oh, that was one of the reasons why he.
Yeah, and the Raw appearances that would happen subsequent to Survivor Series were pre-taped, and you would know that from the live version of Rick Rude from then on having a clean-shaven beard, and the Raw version on WWF on the same night has the big beard. Yeah, it was really a weird time.
It's a very strange time. Very strange point, in the idea, it just shows the level of, like you alluded to earlier, the amount of politicking, the amount of just strange occurrences that led to that, just the insecurity, the kind of distrust. The WCW, WWE back and forth was at such a height. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that Vince would have had it in his mind that that was a possibility, and have made that ultimate choice to be you know what, whether he's going to do it or whether he's not going to do it, I cannot take that chance. So if it costs me my friendship with this guy, if it costs me, whatever, I cannot take that chance.
Yeah, it's it was an ugly business decision in my opinion. I don't think that it was anything personal, like he had any kind of vendetta or anything. I think it was Vince McMahon trying to protect himself and his whole company.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if he saw the heel character before this, or if he just kind of rolled with it and steered into the fire. But I mean, this was the best thing that he could have done in his own self-interest. They may not have, if it had not ended so ugly with Bret Hart, who then went to WCW, and he let them drop that ball. We don't know who would have ended up winning that Monday Night War. I mean, Bret Hart was as influential as that. It could have been kind of a tide turner, but we'll never know.
Nope, we will never know. What we will know is that he's got good aim with his spit. And I bet that, post-wrestling match spit was probably not great.
Oh, it's so stinky.
Yeah.
So stinky. And props to JR for not, completely blowing it there when the completely, unexpected
goes off the
finish
rails,
did happen.
yeah.
And he kept it going. Jerry the King Lawler doesn't say anything. I didn't hear him say anything after that. It was like, I don't know if he took his headset off or if he was just, speechless.
It makes me wonder if, they were just they were all heading for their car.
Shit. Well, I mean, really, if anybody should have been concerned, it was JR. I believe he was head of talent relations at the time. He was the guy. He was the guy who would be the first to be suspected in that kind of thing. And it's a wonder somebody didn't, take a pot shot at old JR that night. They don't have guns in Canada. What am I saying?
Yeah, he had the rain down pine cones on him.
Man,
it's an interesting slice of time, man, and there's a definite before and after. And Vince would never be at the commentator desk again. Like this is the beginning. From now on out, he would be Mr. McMahon.
Yep.
And that's awesome.
Yep. Bret screwed Bret.
And that's it.
And that was our ride through 19. How do you guys feel? You gonna miss 1997?
I am. I'm gonna be honest. I enjoyed it. I would do this. I would ride this out to the rest of the year.
Just ride 1997 till it hit 98.
That's right. And then just keep going, because it's better than 2020.
Yeah, can't argue there.
So what's next, boys?
Well,
we also have other irons in the fire. That we might take a short break.
Yeah, we've got we've got little ideas here and there kicking around, different innovations in the Shoot Show Nation.
Yep. No, we'll be taking like a little short hiatus here. We'll see. We'll let you know, Thomas.
Well, all right, guys, we've hit 1997. We've been screwed out of all of our dreams and aspirations.
Right.
But we will be back with more negativity and laced with some positivity at some point in the future. Keep up with us on the social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search The Shoot Show and you'll find us, or call that Shoot Show hotline, 4132-I-SHOOT, and let us know what did Bret Hart's spit probably smell like? Poutine?
Maple syrup and
Northern Exposure reruns? I don't know. Other Canadian. Timmy Hortons coffee.
Yeah?
No.
I've only ever heard of that place when you're talking about Canada. Is it just a Canadian thing?
I met one Canadian and they talked about Tim Hortons, so I latched on to it. I don't know. But yeah. It's been a good time, boys. Been a long 6-week build. I'm glad we're there.
Yes, sir. We did it.
Yeah. Felt like it took us like 8 years to do it.
Hey, man. Life happens.
Yeah, we got there.
It did.
Yep,
Jesus
that's right.
Christ. So much life.
But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Thomas, Shoot, our boy. Yeah. We know you're there. Sean, wherever you are, the Satan wouldn't grant us our trade this time. But we'll get you on the next one, Sean Rosenthal. We love you. But from all of us here at the Shoot Show, have a good one. We'll see you.
Good talking to you, boys. guitar.